lifestyle possible with our awesome Life Pro products. It's been a while since I've been able to share some time with all of you because I've been recovering, been traveling, been doing great things out in the world. And so I'm super thankful to be able to share this time with you today and bringing you a workout. We're actually going to do a little bit of a workout today. You can participate from the convenience of your home, or you can just sit back and watch and if you decide that you want to have a piece of this equipment, one of the Roman chairs that we offer, and how you can utilize it for getting better in strength or balance or getting those abdominals ripped out. That's what we're here for. So today we're not launching a new product. Today we are actually going to demonstrate how to use our different Sculpt Trainer Roman chairs. There's two different styles. They are now available to purchase through Amazon. The Sculpt Trainer Lite is not available on the Life Pro website, but is available on Amazon right now for $84.99. $84.99. If you're wanting the original, the multi-purpose Sculpt Trainer, it is a little heavier duty, has more features and options on it. This one is a smaller unit. Both do the same thing, but this one has more features and options. You can buy it on either the Life Pro website or you can buy it on Amazon right now for $139.99. I'm not going to get into the different features. You can go back and watch the original launch that we did for those over the last 1 to 4 weeks. We just launched the Sculpt Trainer Lite last week, if I remember right. And so the Sculpt Trainer Multitask Roman chair was launched last month. So you can find both of those products on Amazon. And again, $139.99 for the multi-purpose Roman chair and $84.99 for the Sculpt Trainer Lite. Now, what I love about this piece of equipment, it is one of my favorite pieces of equipment for strengthening the low back, strengthening and toning out those abs. So if you're trying to get those ridge lines or the 6-12 pack, whatever, however many you want in your pack, if you're wanting to learn how to use that for the purpose of enhancing how your abdominals not only function, but also how they appear. Of course, that always happens in the kitchen as to how you monitor your nutrition, your intake, and what kind of food you put in your system. We're not going to get into nutrition today, but I'm going to show you some different exercises that you can use for the buns, the guns, and the guts. So buns, guns, guts of steel. And I'm going to show you using our adjustable dumbbells, using our mini loop resistance bands, and using the Horizon balance trainer. Again, I'm going to go through and show you the differences so that if you're not sure which one you want to buy, you can have an idea of the different features. And again, this is one of my absolute favorite pieces of equipment to use in any gym. So to be able to have it here in my very own gym makes me very, very happy because I've been waiting to buy one of these for a long time. But if you're buying the commercial heavy duty version, they're very, very expensive, over $1,000. And you can get this to use from the convenience of your home, anywhere from $84.99 for the Lite and $139.99 for the multi-purpose Roman chair. So they're one's light, one is a little heavier. This one has less features, easier to move around, easier to fold up. This one you can use as a seated bench. You can use it for curls. You can use it for a lot of things. But they're both very, very nice to have. And so I want to demonstrate some different exercises that you can use at home in order to get strong, to become more balanced, more coordinated. And if you're wanting to work on that core power zone between the midsection, the backside, the thighs, calves, I'm going to teach you how to use it for that. And then we're going to kind of go through the flow of what a workout could look like. And if you want to do some of these exercises without the Sculpt Trainer, you can do that. If you have your mini loop bands, if you have a vibration platform, grab your mini loop bands and you can jump into the mix. If you have the Horizon Balance Trainer, feel free to jump into the mix. If you've got some dumbbells that you just happen to be hanging out around, then go ahead and throw those in the mix. Let's have some fun today. Okay, main differences between the Sculpt Trainer Lite and the multi-purpose. They're both multi-purposes, but one has a seat integrated into it. As you can see, this is super light. We can curl this one because that's how light they are. They're both very, very light, like around 20 pounds. This one takes up just a little bit more space, not excessive, but a little bit more space than the Lite. But again, this one actually has a padded seat that lifts up and makes it more foldable friendly. It has the same style, same size of thigh pads. The ankle stabilizer here that you are going to stabilize for your knee and your lower legs. This has a little bit more padding and it does fold. It is multi-adjustable, so super easy to adjust with the knob here that you are going to screw lefty loosey, righty tighty, and then you loosen and pull, and then you can slide the thigh pad up and down. I'm going to show you how to position that, how to figure out how high or how low that goes based on what your goals are. So that's this one. And then our light is essentially the exact same thing, but without the seat on the backside, okay? So the light weighs, again, less than 20 pounds, and it has the adjustable pads. It has the dip bar. That's gonna be the main difference. Didn't show you that on the other one. The other one, the multitask chair, does not have a dip bar. So I'm gonna show you, if you're wanting to do dips, you're wanting to work bis and tris, this is gonna be the unit you're gonna use for that if you're wanting to use your own body weight. If you're not wanting to use it for body weight and you're wanting to use it for balance, to be able to have some place to curl or to work on weights in a seated position, I'll show you how to transition in using both of those. This one, the leg stabilizer here that goes where the ankle is, this does not fold under like the other one does, but it does adjust in height on how that positions with the thigh. Okay, I'm seeing some of you chiming in. I love those comments, so keep those things rolling. Is the light the new one, or is the multitask one the newer one? The newest one that we just released last week is the light. So it has the dip bars on it, okay? It really is about the same size. So let me show you something here. We're gonna put these side by side, and you're gonna see that truly they are pretty darn close to identical in size. I'm gonna bring you up close in person. So that is how, I mean, they're side by side, super similar in the amount of space that they take up. But when it comes to the adaptability and adjustments and how they fold, that's the main difference, okay? So the newest one that was just released is gonna be the light. And the light is this one right here in the front. The multi-purpose Roman chair, this one right here was released first, Yes, Megan, you have to get up and you have to get back into using it because it's so easy to get this stuff and then it sits. And you might lay your pants on it. You might put a hanger on it. You might sit on it and use the phone, but you forget to do the arm farm. So let's make sure that we're actually using everything for what you're buying it for, because we want to hear how it's making a difference in your life, okay? So I have the mini blue bands. You can use the ones that came with your Life Pro devices, or you can have whatever brand that works for you. There's no brand that's one versus the other. The yellow for me with the Life Pro bands are a lot lighter use. So we can use those for our arms. And we can also, if we want to go up a notch and make it harder on our lower body, I'm going to show you how to use this on the lower body, then you can use the green or the blue. I have the adjustable dumbbells here, and then I have the Horizon Balance Trainer. Love this thing. So we're going to use this a little bit. And then I have just a regular medicine ball, okay? This medicine ball weighs about 4 pounds. So I'm going to show you how you can use medicine ball to make the workout just a little bit more interesting. I am one of those firm believers that if we have stuff in our hands, then we don't get so distracted with how much it doesn't feel good, right? So if we have things in our hands, we're neurologically stimulating fingertips to toes. And Amber's definition of core is anything that transfers energy like a bridge between our fingertips to our toes, okay? Fingertips to toes, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. So if our shoulders are weak, it doesn't matter how strong the abs are, we can't transfer that energy through to our hands from our feet if our shoulder is weak. So we can use this to strengthen that. If our hips are weak, our booty muscles, our butt cheeks are weak, which a lot of people they are if you sit a lot. If you are weak in your hips, we can use that to strengthen the hips to transfer the energy to be able to use our hands. So I'm going to go through and show you some of these different exercises that you can do from the convenience of your home, and you're going to be able to feel the burn. I'm one of those, I want to feel the burn working through here in the midsection, because that's where everybody is really conscientious. Midsection, butt, bat wings, right? But just remember, it's not what you look like on the outside, it's how you function in capacity from the inside out. So don't let that go to your head, okay? All right, so what are some of the exercises we can do on this one? So we're gonna start with the first one that we launched, which is the Sculpt Trainer multi-purpose chair. And when it comes to positioning the thigh pads, if we're actually going to use this in order to make the smile in our booty more prominent, okay? So we're trying to build and tone beautiful butts, or if we're trying to get stronger in our hips, in our hamstrings especially. I've had a major rash of hamstring injuries coming through my building lately. There's a variety of different ways that we can do this. But one of the ways that we want to make sure that we are stabilizing is, number one, the knee pad needs to be above the kneecap. So I'm going to loosen this up, and this slides up and down ever so easily. And let's just go all the way to the top, okay? This is obviously way too high. We don't want to be leaning hips into the pad so that the pad is up in our tummy muscles, but we don't want to be so low that we're running into it with our kneecap. So when we adjust, I like to feel this pad right above my kneecap. So if you go to feel where your knee is, okay, we want that pad to fit right above the kneecap, so the knee is clearing, because the knee is actually moving, okay? If you want more support up here where your hips are, then you can take the pad one notch higher. That would be 2 notches higher. There we go. We can take the pad a little bit higher so that when I go to lean forward, that it falls right here where my crease of my thighs are. If it's up here above our belly button, we actually don't get to do the exercise the same. But if you're one of those who needs a little bit of easing into the exercise because you're not strong enough to get yourself back up, you can go higher. And the way that that would work is, if it's higher, if you get to here and you make contact with the forearms and we're like, oh wait, I can't get back up, then you just put a hand and then pull yourself up. The fastest way to get strong is the lowering phase. We call that the eccentric phase of the lift. So it's not coming back up, it's actually lowering yourself as slow as possible. That actually makes those muscles elongate like a slingshot. And then when we go to tighten and shorten, they come back together. But we actually get stronger fastest by elongating those muscles through an eccentric loading pattern. We get tighter, the joint creates more tension when we shorten, okay? So I like to say it's good to lengthen, it's good to strengthen by lengthen. So strengthening by lengthening. So I'll show you what this position would look like if I were to stabilize in this position. So the pad is naturally hitting me higher, okay? And from here, the pad behind you is just gonna fall where it falls, which hopefully is gonna be somewhere between the middle of your calf and to the base of your ankles, okay? So we're here, you can do this a couple of different ways. We're gonna put all of our weight onto our ankles, okay? So we don't wanna be in front of the machine to where we're bending here. We actually want our ankles touching these pads, okay? So we're pushing into those pads, and we want to be a straight line from our shoulder to our hips to our knees to our ankles, okay? If we're wanting to work our low back and we're wanting to work our butt, we want to be in a straight line. If we're working our hamstrings, we're actually bending at the knee, okay? But we're not going to go there yet. So we're here. We can go hands over our chest, and we drop down, and we're going to squeeze our butt like we're holding a $100 bill there, okay? We're holding our butt tight, clenching those cheeks together. And when we drop down, we're going to squeeze those cheeks as we pull back up, okay? So nice and slow, dropping down, Squeeze, 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 and then coming back up, okay? Now, if you start to feel too much pulling here in your low back, and that's really uncomfortable on you, then let's drop down, and we're just gonna hold here for a second. We're gonna put our hands up, and then we're just gonna walk our way back up, okay? Because it's still fastest to get stronger by lengthening, but it's the hardest one to be able to come back up. So if you need to use your hands to get back up, we are all in favor of doing that because you're actually going to gain more strength by lowering into it, okay? Now, if you're at your local fitness center and you see people doing this really, really fast, that is the fastest way to make your back angry. So don't go fast. Make sure that you have control, that you have control over momentum, and you're feeling all the muscles lengthening out and working all the way through. You want to feel that burn. When we go back and forth really fast is when those muscles become overstimulated and they start to spasm in order to get you to stop and take a break because we're not used to that kind of movement. As you get stronger and you're able to go longer with those lowering and that lengthening phase, then you can speed it up and see how well you do with that. But we don't want to start with that, okay? Now, if it's too easy in going here across our chest, okay, then we can go hands behind our head because we're making the lever longer. The taller we are, the harder this gets. So if I have my hands over my head, squeezing my butt cheeks as I'm lowering myself down, we get here, and did you see that the ball actually stops me? Okay, so the ball actually stops me from going any further. If you want to go all the way down, you can go all the way down and then squeeze all the way back up. But if you're afraid of doing that and you're increasing the lever, you can put a yoga block or a ball in order to stop you so that you can make sure that you're feeling it up high where you want to. So we're squeezing as we come up, controlling as we come back and forth. Now, if we're wanting to add some those little riblet muscles, we're making those obliques really pop, the transverse is popping. We're here, and then we twist, and we're here, and then we look over to our right. We drop down, look to the left, look down, look to the right. Our body is meant to do that, so don't be afraid of doing that, but make sure that you do it with control. And let me just share with you, there is a very good chance that you are going to be sore from doing this tomorrow and the next day. So don't be afraid of what you feel. Just make sure and stay moving, make sure and stay loose. Things will come back around. But this unit, as long as you're using control and you're not swinging through it fast with momentum, it's not going to hurt you. It's how we're meant to move. And we're just really typically pretty weak there because we're so forward rounded all the time. So let's make sure and keep our head and our chest tall. Hands, if you want to go long, you can go hands over your head. And we are nice and easy. You can even go hands high and open up as you rotate. There's so many different ways that you can do that. Wave. Give me some high fives. Imagine Amber high-fiving you. Okay, I love the high fives. Now, to make this even harder, hands go way up in the air, okay? So hands go way up in the air, squeezing, and so you come all the way back. We don't want to hyperextend a lot because our body is not meant to be happy with that. So as you come up, just squeeze those butt cheeks nice and tight and lift to reach for the sky. If you're lifting and elongating to reaching for the sky, you're going to tone all those muscles that run long ways from the top of your head all the way into your glutes and down into the hamstrings, okay? So that's how we're going to start that exercise. Another way that you can spice this exercise up, we take the mini loop band, okay? We put the yellow band around our wrist. Now we're firing the arms instead of just going through the motions, okay? So arms are creating enough tension on the band that it's not just hanging, okay? So we're here, we can just hold here. Just open those bands, coming back up to top, open the band apart, coming all the way down, opening the band, okay? So we can open all the way through, and now we're truly working fingertips to toes, okay? So you're almost like you're clapping and creating tension, and we're working that body all the way from the fingertips to the toes. And if that's too much for you and you just want to go with the elbows, we can just hold here, squeeze those butt cheeks as tight as you can, and we can just open and close, pulling those shoulder blades down and back, okay? If you want to work the forearms and the biceps and the serratus, we call the serratus muscles on the backside, we can stay in this position. These muscles are firing like crazy. I can feel it. I can feel my butt firing like crazy. So that's an easy way to use your mini loop band while you're on the Sculpt Trainer, okay? Now, what else can we do with this? Well, we got our dumbbells here, and I've got the adjustable dumbbells. I love these things. I don't know if you have the adjustable dumbbells yet, but these are awesome, okay? The ones I've got here in my hands, they start at 2.5 and go up to 12.5. We have multiple different designs available on Amazon as well as available on our LifePro website. But the adjustable dumbbells basically eliminate the need for having lots of different sizes of dumbbells and keeping it all in one place where you just have to slide the adjustment pin in order to change the weights really, really quick. Okay, so on this one, we can have a seat. So if we need to stop and take a rest, right? Okay, so now, as you can see here, I don't have to adjust the thigh pads. I can stay right where I'm at, and I can curl away, doing some arm farm, okay? We can alternate one to the other if you want to, okay? We can also curl, lift, drop, and release. Curl, lift up, drop back down, and release. So this is a compounded movement, which means we're using multiple body parts while in flow with the same exercise, okay? You can do as many of those as you can tolerate. I don't like to give a specific number, but just remember, whenever you feel that it's burning like it's on fire, you do like 2 or 3 more, okay? And you want that number to either go up or you want to have to change the weight to make it heavier. Now, what you do not see me doing, my friends, you do not see me rolling my shoulders forward, okay? So from the side angle, I'm not slumping my back. My head and my chest are nice and tall. If you can imagine sitting back so that your butt crack is wide open to being able to catch a quarter in your pocket, okay? Make sure that you're sitting nice and tall, chest is tall and back, okay? And you should be able to feel the pad underneath of your tushy. If you're rounded forward here, you're gonna feel this more in your low back, okay? We don't want that. We wanna make sure our chest is high and that we're keeping the weight in an upright position instead of rounding. So let's not round the back, okay? Really important to note that. Now, the other thing we can do in this seated position, we've got room to move here, is we can take the arms here and we can raise up and we can relax. Raise up and relax. It's just kind of a location to come back to. If we want to turn the bench around, we can use the back side of the bench and we can do seated flies, okay? So we can do seated flies here. So we're flying away like our wings, okay? If you decide that you want to be able to do some tricep kickbacks, we've got our deltoids and our forearms. We've done curls for biceps, okay? Now, if I want to position my hand here, okay, I can pull up and I can kick back and I can come back down, okay? So you can actually use the bench as a guide for being able to stabilize as you do that tricep kickback, okay? That's just one of many ways that you can use it. If you're wanting to get pullovers or headbangers, we can go over the head, arms are straight to where you can feel the biceps by your ears, and we just drop the weight down and push it away, okay? So we're keeping those elbows in nice and tight, no chicken elbows, no chicken elbows. Arms are in locked and tight, pushing away. Just that simple, okay? So there's that. Those are the go-to exercises in using the adjustable dumbbells for this part of the lifts. Now, I don't want to get too much into doing some of the arms because there's other things that we can do for abs on this, but what I would highly recommend is you do a set of one type of curls, one set of abs, one set of back, and then rotate your way through again, okay? Now, side angle. This is one of my favorite things to do. And you're gonna have to figure out where your comfort zone is for side angle, okay? But this folds up. In this moment, let's keep it down. Arms and elbows are up. We're just tilting down and coming back through. You can reach for the pad, and when you feel it, that's when you give a little high five, a little wavy, wavy, okay? So right now, I'm working all abs on the side angle, but I'm also working these hip muscles. If you've been told that your butt muscles are weak, your glutes are weak, your glute med, your glute min, this is an easy way to be able to work on lengthening those muscles for strengthening and lengthening, okay? If you need more space to reach out for, then go ahead and bring those arms up top and you can reach for the stars each and every direction. This is one of my favorite exercises to do right here, reaching for the stars, okay? And then once you get tired with that, then you can just reach for the seams on your pants. So this is how you take it down a notch. So what's the easiest? Right here across the chest, leaning, and then standing right back up. My abs are gonna be so sore tomorrow, and I'm gonna be waving to all of you saying thank you for watching me and giving me a reason to get on here and making it happen, because there's so many other things that we can do instead of exercising, right? But exercise is what makes us feel so good. Even when we don't wanna do it, it actually makes us feel so good. I actually love exercising. So arms across the chest, okay? And then from here, if we go arms behind the head, we can go elbows side to side. And then from here, we can go hand down the pant leg. So reaching for the seams of your pants, okay? Reaching for the seams of your pants. And then finally, reaching for the stars. Those are gonna be your hardest ones with both of your feet anchored. Now, seeing, oh, thank you. I'm so glad to motivate you guys. Thanks for being here today. Okay, this is my other favorite. My other favorite is single-legged. These are killer. And on these, you have to figure out how you feel most comfortable with being positioned here, because this can get a little tricky. Let me try something. Yep, that's not gonna work. Okay, so on this one, you're gonna have to position yourself so that you feel stable with your foot staying planted. The thigh pad is gonna fall right in line with where your hip socket is, okay? And from here, I'm actually doing one-legged, okay? Now, if you're weeble wobbly on the ground here, then go ahead and bring the foot to the inside, but it's a pressure point. So this is where this gets a little tricky, okay? So from here, you can put your hand here and we can actually do leg raises here, okay? So I'm just stabilizing. And from here, I can bring the elbow into the hip. Oh, that's a killer one. Some hips and thighs, getting those abs, those bat wings up top, where all of us have that armpit flabber, right? Okay, and as you want to, you can actually rotate and open the toe up, okay? It doesn't have to be pretty. If you actually wanna bring in the leg up and kick angle instead of trying to keep it straight, whatever works for you. You can try and do a thigh tap. Woo, these legs are burning. Okay, and then the other one that you can do is just bringing the knee in to touching the thigh. Okay, so hand, thigh, knee, all coming together, and I'm stabilizing right here so I'm safe, okay? And then you can do one of two things. If you wanna stay watching me, you just flip your bench around to do the other leg. And if you don't wanna move your bench around, then you just turn away from me and do it away. See how that works? Okay, so those are some of my favorite exercises that you can do using the Sculpt Trainer multi-purpose Roman chair. And this is the original $139.99 on Amazon or on the Life Pro website right now. Great Christmas present idea. And then this is the Sculpt Trainer Lite. Okay. And I'm going to drop my camera down just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. There you can see all of it. Okay, now on this one, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna bring the Life Pro Horizon trainer in on this action. There we go. Got to have some water. Make sure you got your water. Okay, there we go. Now, on this one adapts and adjusts on a sliding lever the same way. So the knob, to adjust it, we're going to loosen it up, just a few turns, lefty-loosey, and then the knob will actually pull out, and this slides along the angle, okay? Now, if we take it as far out as it'll go, super wobbly, so make sure that you lock it back down. This is way too high on me because it's in my tummy. Not a good thing, okay? But again, if we slide it all the way down, okay, to the bottom, it's in my kneecap, and there's not a lot of support here. That's too much leverage on the low back. That's a no-go, okay? So when you adjust this, we want it to be just right so that this pad, when we bend forward, is not compressing on our lower belly, but that the pad is also above the kneecap. Because if it's below the kneecap, that is a no-go. That does not feel good. So let me try this one more time. Drop it down a notch. There we go. And what I would suggest you do, they don't have them marked on these. To my knowledge, I didn't see anything marked. Get yourself a silver Sharpie and just write a star or a heart or a number on the hole that you like. Because if there's multiple people in your family that use the same piece of equipment and you have to adjust it for everybody, you have no idea how high or low it is. And one of the most frustrating things is to be able to try and get yourself motivated to do a workout, and you spend more time adjusting the equipment than you actually spend on it. So make sure to know your settings. These are not labeled in advance, so make sure that you grab a silver Sharpie or a paint marker and draw like an asterisk or put your initials on the dot that you like the most, so you know exactly where that dot is located. Okay, so we're locked and loaded. This right here is a good position for me. Now, what I'm going to make sure you understand too, as compared to the first Roman chair that we demonstrated, this one has a bigger angle, okay? So this one is going to place a little bit more pressure of angle. This is going to take a little bit more energy because of the angle that it's on. I'm further forward versus more upright. The other unit is more upright. So let me show you what I mean by that. So here's the first one that we demonstrated on. You can see the angle right here, okay? So if I start standing on this one, I'm here in this line, and I'm straight as a line there. And when I start on this one, I'm leaning much farther forward, which means it's going to be a lot harder on my body. So if you're wanting a bigger challenge, naturally, without having to adjust anything, the light is going to be more of a challenge because of the starting angle that it's fixed on. So from here, so the pads are fitting me right where I want them to be, reaching down to the ground, squeeze those butt cheeks and come right on back up, okay? So I'm going to adjust my camera one more time for you all. There we go. And I'm going to put the horizon out in front of me, and I've got my ball here, and I'm one of those people, I like to have games. I like to gamify fitness. It's more fun that way. It's more motivational that way. It gives you a target, something fun to think about. Make sure you can all see that. Okay, there we go. Now we're set. Okay, so you can hold this position and literally, well, not with that ball. That was a bad demo. This is an actual sand ball, so it's actually filled with sand. It did not do what I wanted it to do. So hang tight. Let me grab the kickball. The kickball, if you're wanting to maintain or make this fun for kids, we'll see if this works. You watch. I'm going to do this, and it's not going to work. Just because that would be what it would be fun, okay? So I'm here, and I'm holding this position and just releasing the ball or just touching the ball and lifting off, okay? So we can touch the ball and lift off. Or you can just hold, and you can bounce, okay? And you don't even have to have, you see how I'm getting a little bit of a reaction. That's an upper body plyometric. really good on working through low back weakness, really good on getting the glutes to fire, okay? My heavy medicine ball, my 4-pound medicine ball filled with sand here, I'm gonna reach for the dome and then I'm gonna push it overhead. Reach forward for the dome and lift. Reach and lift, okay? Just back and forth until you get tired. And when you start to feel a lot of burning or you feel like it's really hard to get back up on the next one, that's enough, okay? We don't want to push to failure on these because we're working on those low back muscles and we're working on those glutes. So I want to make sure that you're maintaining control all the time, okay? Now, again, you can do the same thing with the body cross arm. So, but again, if you're on this one's a little harder, okay? So we cross in the arms and lifting off. So cross the arms, drop down, coming back, lifting up. So if you're having trouble with trying to get your arms over your head because of a shoulder issue, you can do this exercise just keeping your arms right here. If you want to make it harder, hands overhead behind your head, okay? So we're dropping down, squeeze those butt cheeks and rise on up, keep that head up high. So as you look to where you're going, looking up, squeezing those butts as you come on up, okay? And you can see I'm getting to that end point, but I'm not going to the end point where there's pain, okay? We don't want pain with this exercise. And then if we're wanting to get these muscles here along the sides, then we can rotate and give some high fives, okay? So we can give some rotation with high fives. So we drop down, give a little high five action, coming on up, rotate, high five, rotate, wave it big. Let's do some happy hands, dropping on down, spirit fingers, right? So you can make it whatever you want it to be. But remember, the higher or the further your arms are away from your body, the more natural resistance you're adding to the exercise because of gravity, okay? The weight of your arms weighs more up here than it does here, 3.2 times actually. So if your arms are overhead, it's automatically harder on your back and your butt. Okay, now, side angle. Both legs on, okay? And again, we're leaning more, okay, versus being taller on the first one that we started on. So on this one, it's just happy face. So we're just waving the upper body while the lower body stays put. Just waving the upper body from the belly button up, okay? And just waving those fingers almost like you're a bobblehead on a dash, okay? So we're just bobbling along side to side, okay? Now, yes, we can rotate this way if we want to, or we can reach and go for the stars. So one hand stays put, one reaches away. Two things happen here. We are opening and lengthening this out while I'm actually using these abdominals right here to shorten and tighten. So again, if I'm leaning away from my body, I lean away, we're getting long while this side is getting short and strong. And when I go away, we switch sides. If we're going against gravity, okay, so if I'm facing like I am here, okay, it doesn't matter which leg is in front, whichever one's most comfortable for you, okay? But if I'm leaning and going against, if I'm going that way, it is a lot harder because I have to overcome my center of gravity, reach for the stars. This gets long, you can feel the big stretch, and you can feel these muscles tightening down. And then you can reach far away the other side and go seesaw, teeter-totter back and forth, okay? These are some of my favorite exercises to do. Now, be careful at home if you try this. To take that up a notch, if that's way too easy for you, and you want to be amplified, that was fun. Not amplified, but amplified. Just kidding. We have to throw some mojo into this, right? So the adjustable weights, 2.5 pounds, okay? 2.5 pounds over your head, that's a lot of weight. So be careful if this is something you're trying at home for the first time. So we're here. And again, we want to be anchored to these foam pieces on our legs. If you feel unstable, if you don't want to balance on the actual sculpt trainer, you want to be anchored into the foam pads, and whatever position feels best for you is going to be what's most important. So one leg in front of the other, whatever works for you. So weights are here, reach, and then come back. So now I'm combining overhead press with abs, with butt, with hips, with back. Everything is firing from our heads to our toes. Everything. Okay. And if you want to add an even bigger motion, we're punching overhead with both weights. Okay. Make sure you're breathing and you're not holding your air. We don't want to hold our breath when we're doing this motion. We can also rotate and push. Reach overhead, rotate and push. That's another favorite. Like I said, this is one of my favorite pieces of equipment to exercise on. Been using this for 25 years, 30 years maybe. Love, love, love doing this exercise. Okay, and then we switch sides and we do the other side. Same exact thing, okay? All with 2.5 pounds on the adjustable dumbbells. So there's that. Now, what makes this one extra special is we can work on push-ups, okay? So if you're wanting to work on push-ups, we can get rid of the balance trainer and we can just get into a plank position. Here's the thing, if you struggle with holding a plank in contact with the ground with the forearms or with the palms, let's bring the ground up to you and let's put it on an angle, okay? So we do that by getting into our plank position, okay? No butts in the air. No, no, no butts. No butts, okay? Think about squeezing those butts nice and tight. An easy way to remember this is you can get yourself something to squeeze. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a towel. But if you squeeze something in between your thighs, booty is on fire, okay? So I want you to squeeze something with your thighs because it's really hard to squeeze up here. It's much easier to squeeze here, okay? And if we are trying to work on our push-up position, we're gonna lower the chest until we feel the pad. Okay, so if you wanna come up higher, lowering the chest, okay? And you're pushing it away from you. So one important thing to remember, if you have a slick surface, make sure that this thing goes in contact with the wall. So what does that mean? Well, if you're in contact with the wall, it can't slide away from you. If you're out in the middle of the floor and you're planking and you're pushing it really hard, you can actually move it and it doesn't support you anymore. So make sure if you're not good at stabilizing and bracing here and you're wanting to work on some push-ups, make sure you put it against a wall so that you're stable. So we're here, okay? We're here. We can even do little mini push-ups, okay? I'm gonna bring camera closer so you can see this up close in person because there's an easy way to work on shoulder strengthening without actually doing weights, okay? And so I know you can see that. All right, so watch here. So if I'm working on shoulder strengthening, we're right here, we're pushing down hard into the ground, okay? We're gonna squeeze the shoulders together, we're gonna push them apart. If you look at my arms are not changing in length. My elbows are locked out. I'm just squeezing and pushing away. Squeezing, pushing away, okay? This is an easy way to work those deep muscles on the upper back side. So if you have back pain or pain up high, this is an easy way to work on. You're gonna keep your head and chest high, and we're just squeezing the shoulder blades together like you're pinching them, okay? Now, if you're wanting to actually work the arms, we can just bend a little bit and come back up. Nobody gets to judge you and tell you what you can and can't handle. Only you know what you can handle. So if you can only go part of the way, okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Now, you can bring the horizon over, and guess what? We can do the same thing, but instead of doing it this way, we can hold on to the grips, okay? And now we can go into headbanger mode. So we can push and push. So we're lowering like a dip, and then we're pushing away, okay? Lowering, pushing away. That is really hard to do, by the way. So make sure that you have a good stable space to play around with that. Now, as you can see, there's a bar here that allows the opportunity to stop from falling. So what I want to show you here is how you can do a dip in the position that it's in right now, okay? And again, if you need this to come up higher, you can actually adjust the slider to not match the size of your thighs, but to give you some assistance from the arms, okay? So we're here, we just have a seat and get back up. Have a seat and get back up. And we can get as creative as we want to with this, okay? So we put our horizon on here, okay? Put our feet here, have a seat, oops, let's get up off the ground. Have a seat, notice where you're stopping, push yourself away, okay? Think about looking up when you do this, keeping that chest high and open. And that's another way you can use some of our amazing fitness tools at home to create a total body workout with just 2 pieces of equipment, okay? So we can even go straddle, so you can go wide. Toes are facing out, drop down sumo style, okay? Dropping down sumo style. All right, so there's that. Now, if you struggle with single leg balance and you want to work on what's called a Romanian deadlift, I'm gonna back it up a notch so you can see this in full motion. This is not what the chair is intended to do, but those of you who know me best, you know that I love to mix things up. I love to use things for what they're not intended to be used for so that we can multitask in the many different ways that you can get the most out of your tools without having to buy extra stuff. Don't get me wrong, we love that you buy our stuff. So if you're having trouble with trying to learn how to do a Romanian deadlift, which means you're basically standing on one leg and we're bringing the other leg back and then coming back too, okay? We can use this as a guide, okay? So hands are here. We're gonna just start by just standing on one leg and we're gonna reach forward until we find the bar to make contact, and then we just stand up direct top, okay? So you're gonna feel that firing right in the middle of your butt cheek, okay? Romanian deadlift, and this is a single leg. So we're here, pick the knee up. Think about putting your foot on the wall behind you, okay? Putting the foot on the wall behind you, bring it back through and stand tall. So if you just wanna work on leaning balance, okay, we can do that too. And you've got something here to help you. If you get a little off balance, you have the bar to be able to grab onto, okay? So that's another option that you can use for making this a total body exercise regimen. Now, not done yet, another cool factor. Again, not intended to do this, but you know me, it's hacking into the mind. How can we get the most out of our stuff? So let me show you this. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This one is a booty blaster. Booty blaster. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna lay on our back, okay? Just laying on our back. Check this out. Legs go in the air, okay? You might have to lift yourself up just a tad so that you fit underneath. So ankles are anchored onto the pads and just lift your butt. Relax the knees, lift the butt. So you go from bent knees to straight leg, okay? We can take the arms up and now it's total body. Working on balance, working on those abs, working on the butt. We can go single leg, switch, single leg, switch. Lots of hamstrings here. Lots of hamstrings here, by the way. Okay. Another way, let's see if we can try this. My mind just got really creative with its creative juices. That's how I like to run with some different things. Okay, so another option. Okay, another option. Let's see if, yeah. So the other option is we can go feet low and just picking up high. So feet stay low, pushing the hips into the sky. So squeeze, push those hips up through the sky. Okay, a lot of different ways you can do that. So you can go low, you can go high, however you want to do it. Wowzers. Yes, lots of alternative uses. We love alternative uses. And then this is the, goodness. I tell you what, now I gotta take a breather because we've been going nonstop and it's almost been an hour and we're going nonstop. But aren't those the best? Those are the best workouts when you can go and go and go, and you can get the hostess with the mostest, and you can work on those exercises. And again, it is just keeping the body moving. Don't get caught up in rules. Don't get caught up in, oh, I have to go higher than here, or chicken elbows. Okay, I would rather you use chicken elbows than not do it at all. So if you're afraid that you're going to screw up and hurt yourself, don't go there. Just get started. Order it, get it out of the box. Super easy 5-minute assembly, if I remember right. Super easy to snap it all together in a jiff, and then come back to this video and let's start it all over again. Okay, super, super fun. Those are some of Amber's favorite things to do with the Roman chair. Okay, if you're wanting to work hamstring specific, you're gonna go more with a bent knee application than straight leg. So instead of having the knees straight, we actually are going to bend the knees. Okay, so we're going to go to straight. We're going to bend forward, and then we're going to stand with the knees bent. Okay, that forces the hamstrings to curl. It's not as much of an effect on these as what you can do on the wall. So if you're wanting to work the hamstrings to actually making the hamstrings stronger, if you're wanting to incorporate that in with the Roman chair, you can put your feet up against the wall and push your hips up, and that actually works your hamstrings. So I'll demonstrate that real quick. But when I showed it to you on the light just now with your feet low, that's the easiest way to access those hamstrings. Okay. Okay, so let me show you something. I only see the original on Amazon and LifePro. That is correct. So I actually went through this and double checked this because with the holidays coming, you never know where you're going to find all of our products because supply and demand, things come and go. So let me show you something. When you go on Amazon, okay, there's Amazon. When you go on Amazon, if you type in LifePro Roman chair, LifePro Roman chair, that's what I typed in, okay? And I know you can't see it, and it's probably reverse, but when you go on here, if you tap on the $139.99, that is going to be the complete Roman chair with the bench. If you tap on the $84.99, which is gray, it's going to give you the light, okay? You cannot get the light on the LifePro website. You can only get the light on Amazon. You can get the original on LifePro, okay? But you cannot get the light on LifePro site. It's only on Amazon right now. For right now, I'm sure that they'll be launching it out there eventually. It's just not there yet. Okay, so grand finale exercise. Since you all want to know how to get all shapely here, I'm going to show you how to do it without the Roman chair. And all you need is a wall and a floor space. I'm going to show you a little tip and trick, a little freebie for your Friday. Don't have to have any equipment, just you, the wall, and a little bit of Amber, okay? So we're going to lay on our back. We're going to pushing our feet into the wall. So push your feet into the wall. I want you to tilt your hips towards your chin and push your hips to the roof, okay? So my booty is off the ground. Slowly lower and relax, okay? So hips, you're gonna tilt your booty towards your chin, put your hips up in the air, and then you can stay here and you can kick, and that is continuing to stabilize those. If you want more hamstrings, less butt, then you pull yourself further away from the wall. So we go feet in front of us, butt is further away from the wall, squeeze and lift, and you're going to feel it more in your thighs than in your butt. The closer you go to the wall, the more you feel it in your booty. The further your butt is away from the wall, the more you feel it here in your thighs, okay? All right. Pat, on the PMF mat, can you use it with AFib? That's a great question. I don't have an answer to that right now because I don't have my manual right in front of me and I don't have my research right in front of me. But I will figure that out and I will get back with you. If you could send a direct message to me, please feel free to send me that message via Messenger or you can send it through LifePro. But I need to research that before I answer that because if I don't know the answer, I'll just be straight up and honest with you, but I will find it. So I'll be happy to check that out for you and get back with you on it. So thank you so much for asking for that. Now, guys, it is the evening on a Friday night. My wonderful, amazing daughter is going to be 13 years old this weekend. And so she naturally is wanting her mother. And so I'm going to conclude our day together, our fun Friday. Her 13th birthday, she's now officially a teenager. And oh my gosh, the world is about to change. Can you imagine a little mini Amber running around? Actually, she's not a mini me, she's a mini daddy. She's just like her daddy. So, but I'm going to finish out with this. Remember that greatness is not measured by what we all have. It's not who we are. It's not where we live. It's not what we drive, not how much money we make or who we hang out with. Greatness is experienced by when we are able to exchange our gifts with each other. We're able to give and share our gifts with each other and take that forward and appreciate it. And the more that we do that with each other, the more we feel like we're accomplishing things, that we're sharing and helping each other. And when we go to serve others is when our happy boosters go up. That's when our happy hormones start to release more and more energy. So greatness is all about giving and sharing with each other of our greatest gifts. And I find that the more that we do that, that comes back full circle. So I want to say thank you on behalf of myself and on behalf of LifePro, on behalf of Debbie and Roseanne. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us because I know time comes at a premium. Whoopsie, there goes the balance. And I know that money cannot buy time and it can't save time from the past. We can't get it back. So I want to say thank you for all of you for being here, sharing your time with us, giving us an opportunity to serve you with our mind and with our spirit and with our energy. And those of you who are going through some challenges in life right now, my prayers and my hugs go out to you. Feel free to share those things with us. Send us a message and let us know, hey, I need some prayers for this, or I need some extra spirit energy because I'm going through a rough time. And, knowing that you're on the other side of the screen helps. I get those messages a lot when people contact us and tell us how we're changing their life. That builds our energy up so we can continue to give. But at the same time, if you're struggling in life and things are challenging, don't hesitate to let us know because there's nothing worse than silently suffering. I've been there before and it's not fun. So let's not silently suffer. Let's celebrate each other. And this is the month of November. This is the month of thanks, the month of gratitude. So each and every day, let's think about what we're grateful for. You cannot repeat the same thing for the rest of the month. You have to come up with something new every single day. Today, I'm grateful for all of you. Today, I'm grateful for LifePro. And today, I'm grateful to be able to have my voice. I'm grateful to be able to speak and share with all of you because there's so much information in this brain of mine. And without me being able to give it and share, it just gets lost and wasted. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that with you and for bringing greatness into you to absorbing your greatness takes me to another level just as it can take you to another level. So on behalf of LifePro, on behalf of myself and all of our team, happy November, happy Gratitude Thanks Month. And thank you all so very much for being a part of our mission and a part of our day. You give us great purpose, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Have a wonderful weekend, and make sure you give love and smiles to those that you come across. Have a great day.